Okay. Let's see what lies beneath. Oh, I should have checked if there's... Nah, there won't be. I've one pot of honey. Well, I guess we'll get along with that. At least I hope I do. Or get by. Ah, there's something on the floor.
Louis!
Oh.
At last, there you are.
Scared me.
Mother, wait,
Come, we have to be quick.
No, wait, Mother,
Time is running out, Louis. First, we must...
No! That's enough. I won't go a step further unless you explain to me what is going on here. I'm begging you. Talk to me.
You must trust me, my son. You are not ready yet.
You're the one who should trust me. Tell me what's happening.
You would never believe me.
I came all the way here for you. Now I've found you. I'm ready, Mother.
If only...
Louis, I have always taught you to keep your mind open and rational. I know you are going to find this hard to believe, but what I am going to reveal to you is entirely true.
Many years ago, I found out that demons really do live among us,
I beg your pardon?
and that they can influence our thoughts.
Mother, listen to yourself. I know you're exhausted, but for crying out loud, listen to what you're saying. Demons? What next? An ancient monster with a head like an octopus? What do your demons look like? Have they got horns and a pointed tail?
No, these are not creatures with billy goat's legs. Forget your Christian folklore. Imagine them more as parasitic spirits. They possess their hosts and direct them from inside.
Parasitic spirits?
Yes, they are capable of going from one body to another as they see fit. And 2 of them are present on this island.
Oh, one's
Right.
in Godoy
So let
and
me guess.
another one. Maybe Welna. I would have guessed Godoy and Hillsborough. No, she was actually weird because she was in the room, and Emma. I would have thought it's Godoy and someone, because he felt weird. Yep, Mortimer and Holm.
Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory, right?
You felt it too?
No.
Maybe Holm does look the part, but I don't know who else could do it, given that we're on their territory.
Many years ago, well before you were born, I crossed paths with one of them. Since then, I've spent my life trying to find it again. When we recovered the Alizif, I was persuaded that von Burchard was working for this demon in one way or another. But I thought he would hand the book to a middleman during this conference. That's where I made an error that could well turn out to be fatal. The one who Burchard was meant to give the book to was none other than the demon in person, Mortimer. Not to mention that Holm had sent Volner to get it for him.
Holm and Mortimer are demons?
They both seem to disagree about many things, but I'll admit I never knew exactly why. There are many of them, Louis, not just those 2.
Mother, have you any proof to support any of this?
No.
Of course,
Oh.
but you do too. You had everything laid out in front of you. Didn't you notice anything?
Well, this would make sense, but I want to see where this leads. What? Property deeds? Secrets. What was in the secret study? I don't know.
I went beyond the Nightmare Mother.
You understood the Masonic date.
1191.
Of course! It was during that siege that the demon took possession of Sir Mortimer. They spent a whole night in conversation until the early hours of the morning. Mortimer had passed the test. He had charmed the demon, and so it chose him to be its host for centuries to come.
Makes sense.
But tell me, did you find his secret study?
I did indeed.
Did you see his maps of the world?
He has
I did.
contacts the world over.
Yes, I've been developing the Golden Order across the world for many years, and I've never seen anyone with such influence. It's simply inhuman.
What about property deeds? Wait. Oh, the paintings and stuff. Could it be that?
Well, those property deeds across the world, all signed by the same hand and over several centuries.
I am proud
What?
of you, Louis.
I found your notes written in lemon juice.
Got you
Where
remember.
all eyes size you up. At one stage, I was so afraid of losing my mind that I noted everything down. Congratulations, Louis. Wait, please tell me you didn't open Pandora's box.
The urn? Yes, I did. Why?
Too bad. We'll deal with it later.
Okay. The fact that no one knows him. Well, that too.
I must admit, I found it difficult to understand how and why Mortimer didn't have a place in history.
On the continent, Mortimer and Home are mere dandies who organize society balls. History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents.
Cool.
You mean the conference?
How can you explain that someone manages to bring together so many important figures without anyone knowing?
And without any security or personnel.
That's all I think.
Louis, I am proud of you.
Thank
You
you.
came all this way. You found me. You have surpassed me.
Maybe
You taught
she's
me
the
everything
demon.
I know. Right. How did it all begin?
I saw him.
What do you mean you saw him?
I was 20 years old. I was young and carefree. I traveled the world in search of adventure. In the Persian Gulf, we came across an ancient grimoire that became unlocked. Composed of 7 parts, each one was a book in itself, set in a sort of metal armor that structured the whole thing. When all the volumes were brought together, they formed a single book. On my return to Paris, I set to studying these pages. I spent all my days and nights studying them.
Oh, I can imagine you doing that.
But the writing was in a language I had never seen before, developed well before Sumerian, in my opinion. So I got the idea to form a small occult circle composed of all the major names in the occult world to see if anyone else could crack it.
And you found no one.
And I found someone, Louis. I
Lord
found
Mortimer.
him, or rather, he found me. He was young, charismatic, he was flamboyant.
Or was it Home?
You mean Mortimer?
He was a veritable mine of knowledge. I showed him the book, and he was able to decipher a few passages. We spent several months together studying the pages.
He was already old in those days, wasn't he? So you recognized him when you arrived on the island, right?
No, he wasn't in that body. But I
Okay.
know it was him.
Different
I
body and all.
swear it was him. The way he spoke, his posture, a few of his intonations, his mannerisms.
Wait a minute. You were talking about 60 years ago. I've lost the thread.
Yes, sorry. He helped me understand certain passages until I realized that he only translated a few parts for me. But I had aroused his interest. It was too late.
How so?
I mean to say he manipulated me. He used me, and in the end, he stole the book with all its secrets.
Did he ever go to your place?
Not once. At least I don't think so. But before disappearing, he proposed a pact between us. He proposed that I follow him and let him teach me, allow him to bring me up.
What?
And you accepted.
Please don't be stupid.
Oh.
You don't make deals with the devil. After that, I spent my whole life looking for him. 3 years later in Berlin, I just
I
missed
would.
him. In London, I lost 6 members of the order in a chase. In 1741, in Tunisia, I found a sect of fanatics who had crossed paths with him once. 1741, in Poland. 1749, in India.
8 years ago in Venice.
We agreed never to speak about what happened in Venice, Louis.
I insist.
You agreed, and that was before you spoke to me about demons. Wait, the baby we delivered, you and me, that night in Venice, did he have anything to do with Lord Mortimer?
The child was his son.
We stole his son? Are you insane? I always thought we took him to save him.
That was the case. It was precisely to save him from his father.
Need I remind you the mother died during childbirth? What became of the child?
Later. For the moment, that is not the key issue here. Once
What's
we
going
found
on?
the Al-Azif in Paris, I followed von Borchart's trail here. I didn't think it would lead me straight to the demon. It was careless of me. He toyed with me for a few days, until I caught on, until I saw him as he was. But he had no intention of letting me leave. We are all his pawns, Louis, and if we don't want to spend the rest of our lives turning round in circles here, we must absolutely get off this island. All right, can we move on?
Wait a minute, one last thing.
Huh. One last thing. Probably not the last thing. What
I
happened with
want to
Emma?
know what happened between you and Emily's sister.
Great responsibility often brings difficult choices, Louis. That's all you need to know.
Batman? Was that Superman? I don't know my superhero stuff. With great responsibility becomes... Well, no, with great power comes great responsibility, said someone. I bet it was a superhero of some sort of... Tell me everything.
Mother, I won't take a step further if you don't answer me.
You dare blackmail me?
I'm listening.
All right, I used her. So there you are. Happy now? We had the Al-Azif, and I didn't think we would be able to escape with it. In order to ensure that the book did not fall into their hands, or that one of them couldn't read in us where we had hidden it, I asked Emily to...
It's Emma.
Yes, or rather for me, it was Emily. So I asked Emma to hide it without anyone seeing. And then I disposed of her. I am sorry for her, but she was part of the Golden Order, Louis.
You disposed of
She
her?
knew the rules when she joined.
What? Disposed of Emma? That doesn't make any sense. Emily kinda made me shoot Emma. Now you say... what about Elizabeth?
I want to know what happened with Elizabeth Adams.
Louis, we haven't time for those details.
I must know.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I want to know.
She was one of the receptacles for these monsters. I met her parents when she was born. One of the demons got inside her. The demon used her to spy on her father, John Adams. He is one of the founding fathers and vice president of the United States, you know.
Mortimer possessed her?
No, I don't think it was Mortimer. Her father, John Adams, hired me to tend to her, but the evil in her was too deep. In spite of the various treatments I tried on her, I never succeeded in getting it out of her. It's not something I'm proud of, Louis, but I had to try everything.
Who
Do you know
killed
who
her?
killed her?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
What did you negotiate about the Al-Azif with Volner?
Absolutely nothing. I managed to pull the wool over his eyes until I found a way to flee.
He was wearing wool. Interesting.
What was going on with the cannons in Tuscany?
It was nothing.
We're talking about war. Well, drop it. Like it's hot.
Since when does the Order finance wars?
The cannons for that Bonaparte fellow? Listen, once in the lion's den, I did whatever I could to appear legitimate. So yes, I pretended to be interested in Mortimer's project about a young military man who was seeking funding for a foundry in Tuscany. Between you and me, if buying China would have enabled me to escape, I would have signed without hesitation.
Okay. Go on, it's alright. What's alright? What about the others? Why did you hide your effects on the wolf?
You know, I found your package under a wharf plank.
As a matter of fact, I needed it yesterday. I wasn't expecting anyone to take it.
That's what I thought after I found it.
Samuel Ritter du Choix, you wanted to send me a letter about Godoy.
I wanted you to run a check on Duke Manuel.
Oops.
But frankly, it doesn't really matter anymore now. Godoy is just a pawn like the others. He is not the one I was looking for.
Piaggi's letter.
On the evening of my arrival, Cardinal Piaggi came looking for you. He was determined to give you a letter.
More of his lists. Louis, I think I know what's in that letter, and I beseech you to believe that it is the least of our worries. We can sort that out later.
Okay, and there has been this tiny elephant in the room. Well, actually, isn't.
Are you going to tell me what happened to your hand?
Better than that, I shall show you.
How? When? Go on.
Good. I think that's about right. We shall speak about it once we get back to France.
Great actions for humanity have
What?
been decided by demons for centuries, Louis. They are playing with our destiny. We are their slaves. And it's time for it to stop. By the way, what was Mortimer's project at this conference?
He wants the United States to occupy all the North American territory. France should recover Louisiana and give it to the United States. In that case, the Americans would just have to push west to chase the Spanish from the continent once and for all.
And as Mortimer controls Washington, you may just as well say that it will put him at the head of a world superpower. We should do our utmost to put a stop to Mortimer's plans. But for the time being, there are more pressing matters.
Stuff left behind.
Are you going to tell me why we're here?
Damn it.
There. That's why we are here.
Wow. Wow. Failed nothing. Managed to go through Napoleon Bonaparte's room without leaving a trace. Oh, I didn't. To go through. Protected one of the Hillsborough's twins. Yeah, one. Don't know which one. I went to see the crowd outside Lady Hillsborough's room. Could have been a witness of Napoleon Bonaparte's resolution. Okay. Could have spoken with Biaggi about his motivations. When? Where? Could have learned something from Al-Asif. Okay. Could have gone through Jacques Barreau's room to get to the balcony. No, I couldn't. Could I? Huh? Guess. Next up. Oh, it is only one quest. Traits unlocked 68. Objectives completed 2430. What the hell? What the hell?
Reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one, are we?
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 5 objects before we try anything.
Are the 5 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars.
Wait, what? So we have all this stuff. Cross.
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't the foggiest idea, but it just so happens that's what you are going to use to activate the mechanism. I found the one Mortimer kept. It belonged to Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name of Pope Clement III.
Perfect. Where is it?
Unfortunately, I've lost it. When I lost my hand, I went dashing out, and it must have fallen from my pocket.
Great. Make an effort, please.
Remember, Mother, I'm certain you can remember.
Let me think.
You were running.
I was bleeding to death.
You remember the pain.
I thought I was going to faint. Yes, I remember. I don't think it can be far, can it?
Would you
No.
have lost it outside?
No, I don't think so. It must be in the area. I don't remember going up with it.
Perfect. I'll search the crypt before leaving.
Okay. Well. Nails.
Some nails?
Don't ask me. I'm not the one who made the mechanism, you know. When I arrived, there were already a few of them inserted, so I didn't have to worry about those. On the other hand, I remember seeing some in Mortimer's secret study, behind his nightmare.
Great.
In a golden cup? Yes. Yes, I saw them too.
Perfect. It will be easy for you to find them then. You need 3 of them.
Very well.
You remember what to do about the rollers.
there.
1191 to enter, and 6466 to exit.
Of course.
Of course, I'll remember that. Exegesis of Judas.
Exegesis. Anything else?
Exegesis.
Did you manage to vanquish the Medusa?
To open the chimney? Yes, absolutely.
So you've already come across it. It's the Bible of Judas that is exposed in the secret room behind the chimney.
Why do they call it an exegesis?
Because that's what it is, and not an apocryphal
the hell
Bible,
is
strictly speaking.
exegesis?
It's the study of a text with a summary, not an actual Bible. Anyway, well done for the Gorgon. You did well. You didn't get tricked by the light bouncing back.
Thanks. Do you think I can take it safely?
We haven't got a choice, Louis. Without it, we won't be able to work out this cursed mechanism.
Others. The Gutenberg Bible.
This is the book in which you left your correspondence with Duchess Hillsborough, isn't it?
That's right.
You still believe it's in the tower room, don't you?
I don't know. There is only one way to find out, though.
Right. I shall go and see.
Armillary sphere. What the hell is that?
There's one in the portrait gallery.
Yes, but it's enormous. If you don't want to have to go back and forth several times, then I suggest you get a smaller one.
What did you do then?
I didn't think I'd need one. I started without one, and I lost my hand before I did need one.
How
And you
did
can
you
see the
lose
results.
it? Dates? Are we gonna eat dates?
What do you mean by the concordance of dates exactly?
Oh,
Don't worry about that. We already have them. They are written on the back of the message I just gave you.
I think I'm hungry. Go back, and that's it for my questions.
One last thing before you go. Be very careful. If you come across anyone, they can all potentially be spies of Mortimer or Holm.
Really?
Don't ever confide in anyone because a demon can slip inside them at any moment.
Wait, not all of them though. Take Washington.
Especially Washington. He's been conditioned by Mortimer for years. Look at them, for crying out loud. How do you explain their behavior otherwise? The most influential politicians in the Western world gather together without the least protection.
That's what I said.
Without a single aid to assist them, to participate in a conference during which the guests start dropping like flies. Me, Adams, Peru, Hillsborough. Look at the number of calamities that have happened over the past few days. And not one of them has asked to leave the island? Do you find that normal?
Hello,
You'll
dude.
see. Go up to the manor to look for the keys, and I wager not one of them will speak to you about my being in Emily's room.
Do you think so?
Go on, you'll see. And come back with all the objects in one go. Time is against us.
And remember, the code to get out of the secret office is 6466.
Okay. 3. I didn't get to pick any points. Subterfuge. I don't have anything. No. Diversion or addition. Etiquette. No. Politics. Boink. And consult the notes. Interesting. I'm actually Is that honey? Yes. I'm gonna just pause before this thing and go and eat.